Hello on the Daily Family. Welcome back. I am in launch week. We have a new program coming out, and I am so excited about this one. This program is one that it's been requested for a really long time, and I would say that most people who come to me for this reason. And so it's been a program that I know we've needed to launch for a long time, but I haven't. And I think I haven't because a lot of what I'm teaching inside of this program has always been very common sense to me. But what I'm learning is that things that are common, and this is a good point for all of us, the things that you think are the most common sense are probably the thing that you should be teaching on, because they're not common sense to most people. And so this program is one of those where for a long time I was like, why do this, people don't even need to know this. People already know this. And then I found out people actually don't know this. And so what I can say about it, all of the branding, and we have a branding video and all of the things, launches on this Friday, which is the 14th. It launches on Friday, April 14th, and you can kind of think of this as the business blueprint. So I've launched 3 or 4 businesses now, and I've scaled them all, and I've learned a lot of things. And so what I'm doing in this program is I'm literally taking all the things and I'm putting them into one 90-day program. So it's a 90-day blueprint for you to launch the business that you've always wanted to launch. We're talking everything from the energy work required, the personal development work, the mindset work, as well as the strategy, quite literally the tech you will need, the back end information, the strategy to launching something, all of it's in there. And it's the most epic program I've ever made. And I can say made because we've literally already been building it, and has modules and phases, and some of it's pre-recorded. And then we're going to do some live trainings as well. It's just all the things. You get lifetime access. It's amazing. And it's going to be less than $1,000, which is insanity. Actually, it's insanity. And so if launching a business is something that you want to do in 2023, or you have a business, but it's kind of in that stage where you're like, yeah, I have a business. I don't really do anything with it, but I have one. Then this is probably going to be the program that you want. And I'm just really excited about it. I am just really, really excited to get it out into the world. So if you want the early access, we're going to have an early bird price that's special access. If you want that, you have to slide into my DMs on Instagram at Danielle_on_the_daily. And you got to tell me that you want the info, because that's the only way you're going to get the special early bird pricing. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to tell you the name about it later on Friday. You'll know the name of it. And you can see the branding on Friday too. The branding is so good. It's so good. We literally turned my entire house into a tax write-off, and we did a photo shoot in the powder bathroom, which looks like the bungalow in Santa Monica, in our living room, which literally looks like the set of Mad Men. It's amazing. And I can't wait for you to see it and hear it and know what it's all about, know what it's called and all the things. But if you're intrigued, come get on the wait list for that pre-sale price. And that won't be available to everyone. There'll be a limited quantity of those available. So anyway, I'm excited. Stay tuned. But if you want the info, you know where to find me. I want to talk about marketing, I guess, today. It's not necessarily marketing, but it's more of I guess it is marketing, but I was having a conversation with one of my private clients, and she is launching a really big program right now. It's the first time she's ever launched a program like this, and she's so excited, and she should be so excited because it's quite literally amazing. She's been able to fully build a brand and launch a program within 6 months of working together, and just to see how far she's come has been pretty awesome. You're going to see her on this podcast eventually. But one thing we were talking about is how, she said a lot of people, because she has an email marketing list, and she has ways of tracking like who's looking, who's converting, all the things. And one of the things she asked me was, I'm getting a lot of people that are looking, but nobody's buying. Like, that's normal, right? And I explained, like, of course that is normal. Like, it is normal to have, like, what do they say? It's usually 7 to 12 exposures before somebody will buy something. So a lot of that, like, ooh, they're going to click, they're going to look, they're going to come back, they're going to do all these things. Like, a lot of that's normal. And I also said, well, let's take a look at how you're talking about it. Like, are we actually talking to the people that we want to have in this program, or are we talking only to the people that we currently have in our network? Because there is a big difference. And I think that sometimes this can be the make or break between whether or not people are jumping into your offers or not. So one of the things that we talked about was this surface level marketing that we see when it comes to launching programs or launching products or launching a business. There's a lot of vagueness that I see. Vagueness. That's my new word today. Vagueness. Sounds like Vegas, which makes me think of Garth Brooks, because I'm going to Garth Brooks at the end of May to see I'm going to Vegas at the end of May. Gosh, guys, anybody could do this. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be a very successful entrepreneur. I'm flying to Vegas at the end of May to see Garth Brooks, and I am so excited. Anyway, back to us. I see a lot of vagueness when it comes to marketing. And so this is something that I saw in my clients, the way she was marketing her program. And, there were things that she was saying, like, this program will help you get more time with your family. And I said, okay, that's really awesome. Like, we all want time with our families. That's not an unknown thing. We all want that. And I've talked a little bit on this show about selling the solution versus selling the problem. And this is a perfect example. This program will help you get more time with your family. That's the solution. That's what everybody wants. You don't need to sell people on a solution, because they already know that they want it. However, I don't think that she was fully selling the solution, because she said this program is going to be what helps you get more time with your family. And that's great. And that's the problem, she's selling the problem in a sense. However, what I challenged her to do, and what I'll challenge you to do if this is something you deal with, is if we're staying with, if we're talking about what problems our offers, our business, our products are going to solve. So if you are a health coach and you sell supplements and you're like, this supplement will help you get a healthier gut. That's great. That's great. They all know they want a healthier gut, but do they actually understand what that means? Everybody wants more time with their kids, but have you actually conceptualized for them what having more time with their kids could mean for them? If you say things like, this is going to give you more freedom. Okay, great. Everybody wants to be free, right? Like, we love freedom. But have you actually talked about what that looks like in a very real sense? Because I don't see a lot of that. And I see a lot of people marketing from a very surface level perspective. And I think we have to go deeper. I think part of being an entrepreneur is being okay to make people a little uncomfortable. I tell my clients all the time, I am not the coach you hire if you want to be comfortable. If you want to be comfortable, I'm not the coach for you, because I am going to show you a mirror. I am going to make you uncomfortable, and it's going to lead to your growth. I am more interested in people growing when they work with me than I am in them like thinking that I'm nice. I am nice. I'm very nice. And I'm not subtle, and I'm not worried about making people uncomfortable. And I think if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, especially if you want to be a coach, or if you want to be a trainer, or if you're trying to be some sort of motivational anything, you have to be okay to make people uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable sometimes to look in the mirror. And sometimes looking in the mirror is what we need in order to kind of unlock a new version of ourselves. So What I talked about with this client was, okay, great, you want to spend more time with your family, but what would that look like? Like, what does that mean? What do you do? What happens when you get more time with your family? Because yes, I started to become I became an entrepreneur because I wanted to spend more time with my family. And because that's a choice I made based on the outcome that I wanted to have, what that means for my life is I can pull my kid out of school for a week and plan a wedding on a Thursday and not really worry about having to get paid time off. I can literally go on vacation whenever I want and not really worry about getting paid time off. I can sleep in if I want. I get to wake up every day when my body wants to wake up, not when an alarm clock tells me it's time to get up. I get to be there when my son comes home from school and he doesn't have to have a nanny all the time. And, we get to spend quality time together. I get to work on my business during the day while he's at school, but then he comes home and I get to be a present mom. It's being an entrepreneur and getting more time with my family also means that I get more time for myself. I get to make choices based on the life context that I want. And I told her that, and my client was like, wow, that just went so far. And I said, well, that's how we sell. That's how you actually sell a program. That's how you actually sell what you're selling, is by going deeper than you get more time with your family. What does that mean? What would it look like to get more time with your family? And if you're not at the place where you're like, yeah, I want that, but I don't even have that yet, so how can I talk about that? Talk about what you're doing this for. Talk about the why behind wanting more time with your family. Why do you want more time with your family? What is that going to do for you? Right? When we talk about, what I offer is going to, make you more money. Great. Everybody wants more money. Who doesn't want more money? But what does it look like? Like, what happens when you have more money? I don't ever have to say no to something because of money, ever. I can say yes to anything I want because I have money. I don't get afraid of inflation. I'm not afraid of a recession. I'm not afraid of high interest rates or stock market crash. Like, I'm not afraid of those things because I have money, right? Like, middle class programming keeps people broke. When you break out of that conditioning of being a middle class citizen and you actually allow yourself to become a high earning citizen, and you have more money, your central nervous system is calm. You're not paying attention to the news all the time. You're not basing your decisions off of what the government's up to. That is why I became an entrepreneur. That is why I'm launching a program this week teaching people how to start their businesses, because everyone deserves to feel that way. When you market things in a way of personal and deep connection, you are going to get more conversions into sales every single time. Every single time. If you stay on the surface and you just say the nice thing, it's not going to lead to sales every time because people have heard it. They've heard it before. And frankly, it's boring. Another example is, I see a lot is, if you buy, or if you work with me, I'll help you get your gut health in check, right? We'll use this example. It's a great one. Okay, great. Get your gut health in check. Some people know what that means and they would like that, but they don't even know how to do it. And then other people don't even know what that means. But if you have a healthy gut, what does that actually mean for you? What does that actually, what does that lead to if you have a healthy gut? Well, for me, because a healthy gut is something that's really important to me, what that's done is my skin has cleared up. My skin looks better than it ever has. I poop every single day. I don't feel bloated every time I eat. I can go to a restaurant and I can order food without worrying that I'm not going to feel good after. I can fit into the clothes that I want to fit into. My brain is happier because most of our serotonin is created in our gut. So if our gut is unhealthy, then our brain is unhealthy, and I'm a happier person because my gut health is happy. And because I'm a happier person, I lead from a place of abundance. I don't see obstacles as roadblocks. I see obstacles as an opportunity to grow. That's all happening because I've gotten a healthy gut. Now, somebody talks about gut health like that, you're going to be willing to do whatever you need to feel like that, right? So if it's buying an expensive supplement, or if it's hiring a coach that's going to help me manage my macros or get there, I'm going to do that because I want to know what that feels like. I want to know what that feels like, right? It's when I was marketing The Reckoning, which is one of my signature programs, by the way, it's always available. You don't have to wait for it to launch live. It's always available. So you can literally jump into this program at any time, and it's $777. You can pay that in full. You can pay that per month. But when I was launching The Reckoning, it wasn't just, you can become unshakable. Okay, great. That'd be nice. I'd love to become unshakable. But what happens when I become unshakable? What do I have to look forward to if I become unshakable, right? Well, when I became unshakable, I was no longer triggered by people on the internet who didn't like what I was doing. I was no longer trying to constantly get the approval of my family and friends. I was no longer hiding who I really was, or I was no longer not dressing the way that I wanted to dress, because ultimately I stood in my own power and I was able to do the things I need to do when I need to do them and not worried about a fallout. Right? When I became unshakable, I was able to, literally nobody can make me feel something I don't want to feel. And that I used to get so triggered by things other people were doing, right? If people didn't believe what I believed, if people didn't vote the way I voted, if people didn't, like the same people that I liked, if people had a problem with a way that I was living, I would get so triggered and so upset, and it would literally ruin my whole week. Well, becoming unshakable means that I actually don't care how you live your life, and I don't care how you perceive the way I live my life, because I know that what I'm doing is important. I know that what I'm doing is of value, and I'm going to keep leading like that. And that is why I launched the program of The Reckoning, so I could literally teach people how to feel the same way. Guess what? When I marketed The Reckoning like that, The Reckoning was my highest selling program ever. To this day, the highest selling program. I mean, until the one I launched this Friday. I actually think the one launching this Friday is going to beat it because it's my most requested program. But I just think we need to go deeper. I think if you're not seeing sales happening in your business, how can you go deeper in the way that you're talking about them? Like if you're selling products, if you're selling services, if you're selling coaching, if you're selling a business opportunity, how can you go deeper? Because it's not surface level, right? It's just not. One of the things that my client was saying was that her program helps people deal with life's challenges. That's what it was, life's challenges. Okay, well, everyone would like to deal with life's challenges, but what does that mean? Well, when when I've experienced marital problems, like my ex-husband cheated on me, and I had a pretty crazy breakup with my son's dad, and it took a long time for us to get to the place we are now. My son's dad, not my ex-husband, that's a different person. The story of Danielle goes, I've lived a lot of lives, y'all, but we'll stick with my son's dad. My son's dad, who's an incredible human being. I love him dearly. We are good friends, and he's literally building a house up the street from us. It was not always like that. And when he and I broke up, I felt very triggered. I sought out validation from him in a lot of ways. And that also ultimately led to a really toxic relationship for us, because we were both like two halves looking for a whole. Well, when I learned to do the work that I do, and I learned how to become unshakable, right? I was able to manage things like that. So now when I have issues, when Breezy and I get into fights, it doesn't draw out for months and months and months and cause a breakup. I used to be a runner in relationships, and I don't run anymore because I lead myself, right? And this is something that my client put on what her program will do. And I do believe her program will do this for people. And I said, you've been through a lot in your marriage. Like, she's military wife. Like, you've been through a lot in your marriage. Like, what has this work you've been doing? How has it helped you? How is it given you a fresh perspective that you didn't know back then? And what would, like, knowing what you know now, how would things have been different? So being able to market in this way is what converts to sales. And so I want you to try that this week, because there's a lot of money to be made as an entrepreneur. And I don't think, I mean, in the coaching industry alone, I mean, I make more money in a week now than I made in a year. Like, it's just crazy. And what did I just say? I make more money in a week than I make in a year. Maybe a couple weeks here and there, but consistently I make more money in a week than I used to make in a few months as an employee. And so entrepreneurship is the way to go. And in order to sell confidently and sell in a way that converts every single time, you have to be willing to go deeper into the why behind what you offer. So I hope this was helpful. As always, my DMs are open, Danielle_on_the_daily. If you want to be on the wait list, to be the first one to hear about this program I have launching Friday, you gotta let me know. And as always, if you go to Apple Podcasts and you scroll to my show, scroll to the bottom, write a review, leave a 5-star rating, and screenshot that for me and send it to me, I will give you a discount off of my classes, my programs, the society, anything. Mastermind, private mentorship, you'll get a discount. So very worth it to give me some reviews. And honestly, it helps me out so much because it helps me be able to grow this show, which is the point. So anyway, I love you all, and I'll be back on Friday with another episode. Bye.